Hi everyone, I'm Michael Paul. Today I'm going to explain our next science experiment as part of our Beneath Our Feet science unit. The wind's really picked up a little bit this afternoon here in Melbourne, and that's quite interesting because today we're going to investigate the effect of wind on an environment. So I'm going to show you the things that you need to put your experiment together. So as you can see, I've been doing some digging in the garden. I've got some topsoil, I've got some clay. Now I'm going to get my tray ready so I can build a landscape like we did in the last video. And then we're going to blow some wind across the top of our landscape. So I've put the foil in the tray. Now I'm going to put the clay down the bottom, spread it out. What I'm going to do is push the clay down really hard so it's quite firm. Next, I've got this really big rock, and I'm going to put the rock right in the middle of the model. Then I'm going to sprinkle the topsoil over the top around the sides of the rock. I've just put my landscape down there just for a minute, and I want to show you, now you're going to need something to blow a wind across the top of your landscape. So this is an electric heater. You might want to use an electric heater. This is just a fan. You might want to blow a fan. Or this is a hairdryer. You might want to use a hairdryer. I'm probably going to go for the hairdryer myself. So now I'm ready to start blowing air right across my landscape. So I'm going to turn on my hair blower and let's see what happens. Alright, this could take a while. I've seen that the loose stuff is all blown off, but a lot of the other soil is really heavy and it's just staying down in the tray. So kids, that's the end of this part of the experiment. I've got my model here. The wind blew lots of the topsoil off the top of the landscape, but there's lots of soil that's still here. It's not exactly what I expected that would happen with this experiment, and it leads me to some questions. What does moisture have to do with the soil moving or not moving? So this is really clayey, heavy soil. It's got lots of moisture in it. What would be different if there was a different type of soil on this model, whether we had like the dry sand that you get at the beach, or maybe the soil that you find in a desert, whether that would be different to what we saw happening here. Which leads me to the next question. What parts of the world could you expect a lot of wind erosion? So think about that. Where is there lots of wind erosion happening? How could we have done this experiment differently to show wind erosion more clearly? So think of some of the variables and some of the factors in this experiment. What could we have done differently to show the wind erosion more clearly? Which leads me to this question. Could time have been a factor in this investigation? Now I only just blew my hairdryer over this for a bit over a minute, and it removed some of the topsoil and lots of the heavier stuff sagged down. But imagine what happens when the wind blows for a long period of time over a landscape. Think about these questions and what happens to a landscape on the earth when these factors like wind blowing across it and water going across it affect it. And our world is constantly changing, and the landscape in our world is constantly changing because of factors like these. I hope you have a good discussion, and I hope you've enjoyed this experiment, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.